Okay. We are back again. Been a little bit. I forgot how to do this. I'm Shannon, BL Gossip Girl. I don't know who won.
And I'm Heather Lee, Red is trying.
And I'm Kelly, BL Chef. Oh, and this is
Not another
BL
podcast.
We went
We were much closer this time.
so close.
Every time we mess up, I think of Earth Mix Space and their first episode. And I'm just like, we're just like Earth Mix. It's fine.
We are. It's very, very similar.
We're in good company. Everything's
okay. Nothing for us to worry about.
Mm-mm. Oh, no. You got it.
I zoned out. Sorry, I looked at something I shouldn't have looked.
Oh,
distracted. I got distracted. That's my bad. So what's everyone been up to?
I've been watching a lot of shows, but I think I'm hitting that wall where I can't watch anymore.
Ooh.
Or if I do, it won't be BL shows for a little bit because I don't think I can do as many as I was before. I was doing like 10 at a time.
Whoa.
I can't do it anymore.
No.
Wow.
I am the way the other end of that scale.
Wow.
I'm over here. I maybe have 3. Oh.
I think I only have 4, but one of them's ending this week. I have 4 left, and one's ending this week. So
you've been binging.
Then I'll decide if there's any more that I need to watch.
You've been binging a bunch, right, Shannon?
Oh, so what had happened was I was, and then life kicked my ass for a bit there. It turns out everyone in the house doing school at the same time and working is actually not the easiest thing to do.
I see.
It doesn't sound easy in the slightest.
No.
So what ended up happening was I would get home, do all the things, do homework, do my kids' homework, put everyone to bed, and then I would go upstairs, and then my roommate and I would watch a K-drama. So I have finished one K-drama.
All right, that's all.
I know, I'm pretty proud. And then we are watching Jack and Joker together, so we're gonna watch that tonight. I started Kidnap, having an absolute blast, but I don't think I am enjoying it for the reasons it wanted it to be enjoyed.
I can see that.
I'm behind. I'm still behind, so I can't even.
I just finished episode 2 of Bad Guy, My Boss. Absolutely love it. I'm having a great time right now with shows.
That show is very much a Shannon coded show. I'm loving it, but it is a very Shannon coded show.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, I was on vacation for 10 days. It was 10 days away. So I think the only show, and I was rooming with my niece. So there was no point where I was by myself, at all. I got a couple of free moments, and in them I watched Jack and Joker and Monster Next Door, and that was it. Those were the only shows I was able to sneak in, and literally I watched them and then push through the door. Hey, what are you doing, Auntie? Okay. Now, they're not younger. They're 22 maybe, but still very much wanting to be around their auntie and family. So
well, and you were out of the country, so it was a whole new experience. It's not a vacation where you get to just chill at home.
No, we were in another country.
It looks really beautiful. But your updates about the shows, in the midst of you explaining what you were doing, were pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I went crazy. Oh, I had been drinking.
Yeah.
It's what do you mean? I went on
Next Door.
I went on a monster. Me and that show have issues. I am too down bad for that show. And it's uncomfortable how much I love it. I haven't loved a show like that intensely, I think, in a long time, and so you add alcohol to that, and it was a lot
Fine
of
time
all
for
caps.
everybody else.
A lot of all caps.
It was a lot of fun to be someone witnessing it. Everything I know about that show is basically from like you just being like, oh my God. To the point where now the two actors from that show, their stuff comes up on my feed all the time. I have now started following them. Have not seen that show. Haven't seen a trailer for that show. Haven't seen a clip of that show. But I love them on TikTok. They're amazing.
To be fair, every time they show up, I repost them. So you're
I
getting
was
pushed
gonna say
from
one
two
of you. I was
different
like,
directions.
one of you is the reason, and I
It's
know it.
Heatherly.
That was me.
It's Heatherly. I mean, but why wouldn't you repost them? They're a good time.
They're fun. They're fun.
I'm not gonna lie, dang it. So one of the things, someone was being snotty on TikTok, and then they were like, "Oh, you'll have a meltdown. You fans will then have a meltdown if these ships break up." And so I was talking to my friend who was visiting. I was like, I genuinely don't know of anyone who I would be like devastated if they stopped doing work together. But you guys just reminded me of these two. I'm invested in their TikTok stuff. Where if now at this point I found out that wasn't happening, I would be like, like, what do you mean?
It's so I really want to study them because it's so effective. And both of them, right? Their temperaments are so completely different. And they're not really talking, they're not like selling themselves to us. It's just Lil Park doing his little wiggle and dance, and he knows every dance. Like he's got it down. And then no matter what, either you'll see Big behind, he'll just show up in the background, or he'll scoop him away, or he'll pop up from the bottom. Like Big's showing up at some point, or he'll just walk through. It works. It works I just eat it up.
Every time I'm like, genius! Like it's the first one I've ever
is always
seen.
the judgment stare, like he's like doing the sex dance, and you just see Big stare at you, very judgmentally for staring at Mark. I was like, he came to me. That's not my fault.
Park will like wiggle his booty or lift his shirt, and Big will be like, "We're shutting this down."
Yeah, he's like, all right. And I realize I don't think there's been people who like I'm following them for their like TikTok content, for this content they're making. There hasn't been someone like that. Like normally I'm like, yeah, let's get this show out or let's do this. And their interactions are fun.
And I for Babe too.
For who?
Babe.
Oh, Babe.
Like Billy Babe.
Babe does good TikTok.
He does, but I didn't get as invested. I wasn't like, these two snuck up on me. Like I didn't realize until
you were watching their show, so you expected them to show up.
Oh, you know what? That might be because I was watching their show. Yeah, these two I was not. Oh, but you know who I'm stuck with now? Smart and what is his name?
Mark and
No.
No.
No. Is it Smart? No.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Am I thinking of the wrong guy? He was just in the hospital.
Oh, the actual couple, Smart and James.
Wait,
James.
yeah. No, it's
Smart
not
and
James.
No, is it James? Is that his boyfriend?
James.
Huh?
No, that's the person he used to work with.
Oh, that's the BL couple. Smart James.
It's like
his boyfriend's actual name. His boyfriend's actual name. Oh no,
I think it's with a CH.
I don't pay attention as much.
I know what name. I don't think I know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. I only can see like the first two letters of the name.
Not Smart. Smart is always dancing.
Wait, that's James?
James.
I'm not saying a word.
I mixed their names up when I was watching them.
You know, don't leave us out here.
Hold on. Oh gosh.
I'm going to MDL. Listen, that show was on a
swear
long
to God,
time
isn't
ago. You brought it up.
What's his name in Bad Guy, My Boss? Isn't that James?
Oh, I'm
That's
not.
James.
What was the show
The
called?
guy that plays Ellis?
Yeah.
With Job First. Well, I know that. What was that show called?
Don't say no.
Don't say no.
And no, the person in don't that is not James.
Who the hell am I?
Also, the person we're thinking about, the relationship, is James.
Yeah, I was right.
So
Smart
was
is the
I.
one.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I mixed
No,
up
I
who
said
was
James as
who.
well.
But the guy in the bad guy, my boss, is not smart.
Or is he
The person
James?
smart is not the person smart.
So this is what happened. I read James, and I was like, "Oh, it's the James from Don't Say No," and it's
That
not.
is correct.
Ah,
Wait, is the James really?
Wait, hold on. Rewind. What did you just say?
Is James in Bad Guy, My Boss?
No.
Okay, and Smart is not in it as well.
Correct.
Neither one
but
of
the
them. is
actor's
Bad
name
Guy.
in Bad Guy, My Boss, his name is James. That's why I got confused. It's on the credits. It says James.
Wait.
Hold on.
It's probably not the same James, but that's where I got mixed up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's a different James.
it's
Yeah,
a different
different
James.
Very
And that's
different
where I
James.
got mixed up. Oh my
Yes.
God.
woo,
Wow,
that
you
was a journey.
hurt my head.
That was
Listen.
a journey. But Smart's hair is very long, and he dances all the time.
Yeah.
And I
Smart
normally
has what?
You're not. I was watching his TikToks because he dances, so that's the one I followed the most. And so James didn't start popping up in my TikTok feed till recently, when him as his boyfriend started doing like vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that Emily is the reason they started showing up on my feed. And then I was stuck there, and it was very enjoyable. I have not seen Smart in ages. I really did mix up who was who.
He
in
does
that.
dancing. I don't know what he's doing right now. He just does a lot of dancing TikToks, and his hair is long. And he dances.
His
Because
hair is
I
very
actually,
long right now.
like-
It keeps throwing me off.
Huh?
His hair is very long right now. It keeps throwing me off.
Because I was literally
He's a good
watching
dancer.
Bad Guy, My Boss, and I was like, damn, we really are never getting never say or just say yes. And then I was like, wait, this is. But now I'm like, oh, it's not even the same actor. We're good. We're still not getting it.
Well,
But
we're
for
still
different
not
reasons.
getting
getting
it.
it.
We're 100% never
Oh
getting it.
yeah, I was like, still no.
Smart hasn't done anything since Love in the Air.
No, he just dances.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he probably does things, but he doesn't do
Wait,
any
they
acting.
did a show. They did a show together. It was a short series. Yeah, they did something together. It was like was it a mini series or a movie? I can't remember.
There's a movie called Moments of Love.
Yeah, they did something together.
Oh, okay.
That was there, and it wasn't. It was a separate
Yeah.
project that they did. So I thought they might continue, just not with like
As a
what Joff
partner.
First did, just continue on their own for a while, but it didn't happen. It didn't. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Now I'm wondering who's
All right,
next.
mystery.
Also.
What's the
Well, I'm glad I have figured out who is who right now because
Glad you did too.
yeah, I was very confused.
I was trying to think when you were saying following people outside of their show, and it was when my sister started watching stuff. She started watching a lot of the TikToks first, and Follow Off Road was one of the first ones she again. She didn't follow any of my instructions, but we're just gonna let that go. I gave her a whole list of things to watch and do, and she ignored me completely. But we're letting that go.
We're letting that go.
She was just on TikTok, and she off road. She saw them and just like got invested in their TikToks. Watched their entire story through TikTok, like from the beginnings when they were in like the survival show through to today. And then she was like, oh, okay, I guess I should go ahead and watch their show. She watched their show.
That's one way to do it, though.
That is one way to do it.
I'll hook you.
That's what. Oh no, she did that with everyone because she was like, "I like that pun pooing. Let me see what they're up to." And so she would watch the TikToks, see which pairs were interesting, and then be like, "They seem fun. I bet they're in a good show." And then, I'd say her picker's pretty freaking good because she picked ones that actually had good shows instead of
Yeah.
like she could have picked a pair that was super fun on TikTok and then the show was like mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's always heartbreaking when that happens. I realize I think people assume we get like heavily invested in things. There's a lot of people who I enjoy and it is not for the shows. But I'm like, you are just an enjoyable person to watch your things and I'll watch your shows,
Mhm.
but that's not like the number one reason I'm following.
I don't
I
know.
would
Yeah.
I would agree. I think I have one. I don't know if it's controversial, but I have one pair
I think.
that I watch all their shows, even if I don't necessarily like how the shows wind up, but I love them.
Who?
Moss Bank.
I knew it.
Gonna
But
say
I feel
that.
like we all kind of feel that way. I've never wanted two people to be so successful in my life. I'm like, please.
And I mean, I watch their shows, and I never think that their shows are bad. I just
Yeah.
know that they could be better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's always this element that I'm like, this is not necessary for anything.
That yeah, like I actually liked their series, the last one. I know people had a lot of mixed feelings about it, but there was an element of it that just was like, huh? But also I also am not that picky. So like if the vibes are good, I'm just
Yeah.
like, it's fine. I don't know.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, even if I don't like the show, all of the people in the show have
Yes,
such good
I
chemistry
really
and
like.
like vibes and like friendships or whatever that I'm like, I'm watching for the friendship, family, whatever that you have built more than whatever the heck is going on behind you.
It's always really interesting to me because I feel like I'm a super critical person of like stuff. But then when I watch these people like doing these deep dive breakdowns of like shows that are clearly not meant for that, like
Yeah.
you know what you're doing when you watch that show. Watch it. Like it and if
I'm
you
sure.
can't handle that and you need it to be deeper or then what are you doing? Why are you there? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I can break down any show if I absolutely have to. When I do my reviews and stuff, I'm like, I'm going to start this off right now. I enjoyed the show. So the number rating is heavily skewed to I was entertained. But if I have to like pinpoint plot holes and things that went wrong in the show, I can't do it. I just choose not to.
Yeah.
I am having what a thing about me is I will absolutely like lose my mind watching a show because I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I will be having a great time. And that
Mhm.
show at the moment is Kidnap. Um, it is a very fun show. Like I'm having so much fun with the show. At the same time, I'm like, this Ohm's character is driving me crazy. I'm like, sir, you are so bad at simply, I don't know. Whoa. Hold on, that was a child.
I've
I
only
feel the
seen
same
2
way.
episodes.
I think she's only seen 2 episodes, hasn't she?
No, she got further. Pretty
she?
sure she got further.
I mean, there's only 4 episodes out. So.
I don't know. I just either that or she talked about it a lot on TikTok.
I did talk about it a lot on TikTok.
So I'm not. I just assumed it was about multiple episodes, but maybe
I watched 2 episodes.
Told you.
Never mind.
So,
Yes, you watched them all because there are so many TikToks.
because listen what happened, okay? What happened was I watched 2 episodes and I got to the end and I was like, you have to be shitting me. This man, this is spoilers for the show. It's not really a spoiler, it's the trailer. But like this man went straight to kidnapping before he sold his couch. And then when I made that point in the video where I was like, he's got a lot of furniture in that house for someone who's being met on the streets by what are the loan sharks who have knives. And then people were like, well, it happened suddenly. I'm like, ah. And then someone was like, his debt's so high. What's selling like a couple $1,000s in furniture going to do? I'm like, it's going to make someone out pull a knife on you on the street. Okay. That's what it's going to fucking do. And so the fact that people were like putting pushback on this, I'm like, listen, I'm not here because I'm like, I came to this show for the realism. Okay. But I am just pointing out that this man is crazy because he went straight to kidnapping and he's doing a horrible job at it. Like, just terrible.
I'm still tickled by
What happens
episode
at the end
1.
of 2?
Huh?
What happens at the end of 2?
I'm now wondering if I watched 2, I might not have. Or if I watched it was so long ago, I don't remember.
Oh, at the end of 2? At the end of 2, that little dumbass kidnapping victim, okay? First off, the two of these people should not be allowed to make plans. Comes back and is like, hey, why don't you use me to ask
Ah,
for ransom for my dad? And I was like, you know what? It
okay,
sounds like a fucking horrible idea. That.
I need you to at least get to the end of 3.
Okay, but can I just say, I want to put this on because I don't know what's happened in 3 or 4, but from my understanding, these people kidnapped that kid, okay? And I'm assuming let his dad know he was kidnapped. His dad probably did not do what they wanted, so then they said off the kid. So then this kid is like, you should ask my dad for ransom. I'm like, in my mind, your dad thought you were already dead. Like in my brain, some of the like, I don't know.
I don't know. The only reason I might have an issue with that, though, this could be a story completely, is he walked back into that house and his dad was not phased that that child just walked back into that house. Like he looked like he didn't even know the child was gone.
Yes.
So I was like, if they reached out to him, he didn't take it seriously, or he's like, he's gonna get out of it. I don't really care.
I had a moment in one of my videos. I was like, this guy is so kidnappable. How has he not been kidnapped before? Then he starts having flashbacks. I was like, damn, has this kid been kidnapped before? And he's still this kidnappable? This family.
I still stuck. I'm nothing you guys are talking about. I saw you make a TikTok about it. It's the only reason it's on my mind about that one thread that comes loose in his sweater. And it made me think, do you know the song? If
Weezer?
You want
Not
to
to
destroy my sweater.
start singing that when it happened.
I just walk away. Let it walk away.
Yes, I was gonna make an edit to that song.
Just like the video. You guys did it. It's a remake.
Dying.
It was masterfully unraveled. I was like, whoa, how did they pull it off?
I was like, how much you pay for that? Because that came undone so quickly.
It's a structural marvel if it was really like made that way, where it's just the one string that that constructed the entire
It's
bottom
like
of the
they made
sweater.
an infinity scarf and just stuck it over him.
That's what
That's
it
how
looks
you
like
make it.
when my kids undo my knitting.
Yeah.
But that was when they started fighting in the business place because of the string. I was like, I was just like, what the hell? It's like, you need a job or something to like the wealthy kid. Cause I was like, why are you trying to fight something?
You're wealthy. You can get another sweater, sir.
I'm like,
him implying that it was intentional. I was like, why would anybody intentionally do that?
he like turns him around. He's like, you see the string stuck on your watch? How dare you do that on purpose?
Like,
it is fun though. I appreciate that it's fun.
I appreciate the comedy. It is.
I'm at a point where I'm like, where I was watching this and I was sitting there and I was like, my God, Ohm's character. I was like, have you never heard of CCTV? You are standing in front of the business that this man is like at a bar, just standing in front of it, staring into the bar. I'm like, if he does get kidnapped, you know who's going to be the first suspect? The rando standing in front of the bar, staring inside. Yeah. I didn't even know what to do with him. I was like, stop. And then it did crack me up. My friend even said this when Lang started playing the guitar and Elm's character was like, I can't kidnap him. I was like, would you have felt differently if he sucked at the guitar? I don't understand why this was the turning point.
I will never get over the sunglasses inside the mall. Those
What are they doing?
I don't know. It made them the most suspicious things in the mall. Like if you ask, they'd be like, "Did you see anything suspicious today?" It's like not much, but there were these two guys who had their sunglasses on in the mall. That was super weird. I don't know what they were up to.
But I just remember thinking, who wears their sunglasses inside?
Kidnappers. or
really
no
bad
good
ones. What cracks me up also is that what's Ohm's character's name? Min? His friend was like, "Hey, I've got this job for you."
Uh-huh.
Blah blah blah. Knows what Min is like, all this stuff, and then is on the phone. And is like, "Hey, you got to kill the guy now." I'm like, "What?
Bizarro, man.
You can do that?" I'm like, "You are
I
a
can tell you it only
horrible,
gets weirder.
huh?"
I can tell you it only gets weirder.
Because I was like, "Who put you in charge of the hiring process? Like, you are very bad at this."
I don't know.
All right, I guess we gotta catch up on the other episodes.
I know. I gotta watch that. I want to watch. There's 4 out right now, so 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got 2 more episodes of Bad Guy My Boss, which is, oh my god.
2? The
There's
third one
4.
came out this week. There's 3.
Only 3?
Yeah.
Okay,
Third
okay.
one came out this weekend.
But listen, I swear to God, that boss. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you watching that one, Kelly?
No.
Because it's a ride. Okay.
No, I have not.
That might be a mess for another day for her. That's when she needs something messy, then she can watch that one.
It's an enjoyable mess. But I don't know why either of these people are putting themselves through this.
Mm.
I understand why the one is.
Which one?
I understand why the employee is acting the way he is.
Yeah.
I do not understand the boss, but I'm sure there's some sort of commitment flow reason that they will tell us later about.
I think it's like a standoff, and he's trying to do all these things to make the employee admit. And then also I'm like, that's a horrible way to
yeah,
handle
but he's
this
also
situation.
like giving all the reasons why he shouldn't admit.
I know. It's so bad. I was like,
It only
it's
gets
weird.
worse.
Many a moment I've just thrown my hands up and been like, men.
Yeah, this is only I think 8 episode. How many is it? Oh no, this one's gonna be 12. So
12 episodes? Yay. Good. I want it to be fun and have fun.
yeah, they just done very interesting choices for the first 3 episodes. That I'm like, wait, how long is this gonna go on for?
I need to watch the third. I'm so curious what else they're gonna freaking do because the first 2 were insane.
Mm-hmm.
They said Dunk spoiled that the Heart Killers is in November.
Yep. Yes, he did. Thank you, Dunk.
We appreciate that.
We really do.
I'm so excited for that show.
But so is it going to be? Excuse me. The same time as no. When is the 30 episode one then? I thought that was going to be next.
I lost track of that one.
Well, I guess they finished Force book stuff, and now they're filming Per Saint. Yeah. I don't know if they did Junior. What's his partner's name?
Santa.
What did I say?
Saint. I thought I'd save you. I was like, let me save Kelly before people like lose it.
Wow, some things are. Listen, guys. These guys go through partners. It gets confusing. And you revert back to the beginning. It is what it is. I went really to the tippy top.
You went
there.
Way back.
In there.
You were like,
an S. I get confused. Santa, which I adore per Santa, please and thank you.
So much fun right now. I'm really loving them.
Mark, you were wondering who was with Junior.
Yeah, Mark and Junior. I don't know if theirs has been filmed yet. But my impression was they were going to, maybe I made this up in my brain and it's not reality, but I thought they were going to start showing it while they were finishing it because each couple has a contained, I mean, they may show up in and out, but their stories are contained within their 10 episodes. So they could start airing some while others are filming.
I'm so excited to see Perth and Santa. Like, I'm really, really curious. That's
why I brought it up.
What they're going to deliver. Yeah.
We were saying it when people were acting a fool. Okay, I'm just tired of fandom, but that's whatever. When they were all like, oh yeah, like acting like they couldn't fathom what that could be like, and they just didn't know. And it's just like at the end of the day, those two are super talented actors. Like both of them are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see two actors go toe to toe that are both very good at what they do, and they're not just good actors. They're good with chemistry, and they do not hold back. Neither one of them. So I'm like, why did we think this couldn't work? Like, I don't understand. They know their assignment. They come in the room and they get the job done, and they're good. They're talented. They're professional. Like, I don't know. I just was very
I
irritated from the conversation.
so I have people who I will was it Chris and Godwin were the ones that made me go, okay, you guys can deliver because we had no expectation based off a single damn thing outside of that show about what we
Yeah.
were going to get. And then they gave us one of the best shows. They gave us phenomenal chemistry, great acting, like all this kind of stuff. And so then I do like teasing Gollin and what the fuck's his dude's name now? Joss, thank you. Because it's once again people where I'm like, I'm gonna wait for what you are going to deliver in the show because you're not I've got nothing right now. Um, and I'm sorry for what I will say for this one. Uh, because so I'm always like, what we see in the regular LED doesn't tell us what we're gonna get on the screen. I do feel bad for Perth and Chimon because again, great actors. It was just that chemistry part where I was like, oh no. But they had it in the first show, so I don't know what the heck happened in the second show. But
I
they
think
were
for
fun
them,
in person though.
yeah.
They were goofy in person.
Mm-hmm.
I think my biggest thing is I have to wait for the show because
Mm.
sometimes it's just the people that they're portraying in the show that I'm struggling with more than the actual actors or what they're doing.
Sometimes it's the writing and the director.
Have we
Sometimes
ever
you can like do your best, and if the writing or the director doesn't meet the needs, then it's not gonna hit the way it should.
Yeah.
have we ever had a couple who their chemistry was just insane and incredible? And then it got to the show and we were like, where did that go? I'm trying to think because no one's coming to the top of my head.
Okay, I don't think this, but I just saw a post today where I was very confused. I'm convinced these people do not watch their shows. It was irritating me, and you guys are going to be flabbergasted when I say it. It was full of the comment section saying June Dunk. And I was like, are you out of your freaking mind? Did you? I know they didn't watch Hidden Agenda. There is no way you could have watched Hidden Agenda and made that statement.
I'm so sorry. They tried to say that they didn't have chemistry on screen.
That's what they tried to say. I mean, you just
They
need to
ate
see
each other on screen.
It was insane. It was insane.
Did they?
I've seen the statement, but I've only seen it for Off Gun and Ponpuin.
Okay, yeah. Ponpuin, that's the other. Off Gun didn't come up in that one, but it has before. But just this particular list, this one I saw it was Ponpuin was the other one.
Yeah.
And I think they're basing it off of We Are, because if you watch Never Let Me Go, they were ridiculous. So it's like Ponpuin.
Ponpuin.
Oh. For some reason, I thought you meant Not Me. You said Never Let Me Go, and I pictured Not Me. And I was like, did I miss them?
I feel like, and who was it? Who did the video? Quinn did a really good video about this, where Quinn was like, JoJo and New are not the same director.
No.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to get Never Let Me Go type of interaction in We Are. And I think they were still judgy too, because boom. It's just boom. Are just they're them. I don't know that there's a scale with those two. You know what I don't.
There's another one who's all over my feed, and I know it's because of some people.
Yeah,
it's not me. I don't.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
But like, and then they were like, and then Mark Poon came in, and they were like all over each other. And I felt like Mark Poon had something to prove. Like I felt
Yeah.
like they went in that hard because they were like, "This is it. We've got this one kiss at the very end." And
Make it or break it.
unfortunately, yeah, I don't deny. We say both things. Like these relationships can be real. These can be partnerships. They can be relationships. Yada yada yada. But also, at the end of the day, all of these people want to work.
Yeah.
And the way to work is to show that your partnership, your on-screen partnership, is viable. And
Yep.
so, if I were them, I would have gone in like that too.
Hell yeah.
Especially how they got put together. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have 18 episodes to slow burn into that. The way the way the show was written for that particular pairing for Pon Poon, it really just it stretched it. But I didn't mind it. And the show, it's a bizarre thing I see happening with them because the show was like one of the highest viewed shows of the freaking company.
Yeah.
So clearly people did not have a problem with Pon Poon.
I think so. One of the things I've been thinking and noticing is the younger actors, like this group. So, like, we follow like all these actors or show stuff, but these younger actors, they are the same age as the people who are their content is being made for. Like
Can you say that again? I missed it.
they're
My
the
brain-
same age. Like,
They're the same
I
age as the
see.
demographic they're targeting.
yeah.
I see what
And
you're
so
saying.
I think their stuff is going to be bigger. It's going to like hit a huger audience because of that.
Yeah.
Because I was like thinking about this and how, we'll talk about how like, BL isn't really mainstream, all stuff. I'm like, but I don't think that's going to be much longer because
Oh no.
the age of the people who are with these actors for all this stuff, they're going to get older and it's just going to bring in new and younger people. Then it's going to boom. It's going to hit everywhere.
I don't know if I was telling you guys this. Sorry, my sister talks to me a lot about this stuff. Hi, sister, if you're watching. But one of the things she said that she was trying to understand why Jess did BL, because we've had this conversation.
Right.
Jess was already established actor, well known. But in the recent interview she watched, one of the things that he talked about was being an established actor and being a celebrity, and how those are two different things. And he basically said you can't eat off of being a great established actor. You want to make money, you need to be a celebrity. And he was calculated. And he said, "Oh, they did Kim Porsche and they became famous. And he was like, "What are they doing over there at BOC? Let me check that out." And then he had the opportunity. And so he made the choice to go there. He made the choice to work. Like he walked into that wanting to understand the company, how it works. And he said they're older people that he works with. So this was a younger company with younger crew and stuff. And he wanted to see like their perspective on things to kind of study up on it. But also he was like, can I bring this celebrity portion to what I already do? So, I mean, I'm just to what you were saying. I think that is the factor with BL right now, that if you pick the right show at the right time, you do have the opportunity for celebrity.
And he really did, because that was.
I said also the social media aspect.
Yeah, that. Yep.
He made a good choice. Like BOC is good at the shows that they do, and then Salmon, she's already so well known for everything. Like, you just know what she makes is going to be quality. So I was like, that was a smart choice. Smart choice.
He co-signed a lot of what we said. Is that some of the decisions you don't like with BOC, some of the things that frustrate you with BOC, but overall, like his experience with them was positive.
Because I think like, hands down, as far as like, they've all said this. If you are an actor, it's a great company for like being respected, taken care of, like all that kind of stuff. I will maintain this. They are horrible when it comes to like social media handling of some things. But now that they've moved away from management, I think it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that I'm like, oh yes, focus on shows because you're a genius at it, and maybe maybe management was not your calling.
Because their shows have been good, consistently high quality,
sure.
well
Yeah.
acted, well written shows.
Mm-hmm. I mean, oh shoot, the Dead Friends Forever was so good. I was telling everyone I knew in my life about that show. I was like, you have to understand it's like a slasher, but then it's also psychological, where like you just can't rest. And it's not just
Mhm.
because people are being stabbed. Like you can't rest because of the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really enjoyed that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's been fun also seeing Jess at Beyond Cloud because we've all followed those actors for what, like 2 something years now. And it's fun when
Mhm.
you see someone else thrown in and you're just
Oh,
like,
and he's trying to figure out what the heck is going
what
on.
the heck is happening?
His permanent confusion face is like peak comedy for me every time he shows up on my feed.
Yes.
I'm like,
Oh, what's
don't worry,
cracking up?
buddy. We are also confused of what's happening around you.
I
You know,
like
'cause there was I made a video where I was like, please someone pay for another show for him in Bible because I love the like behind the scenes clips and the interviews they
Yeah.
do. It's so much fun. But watching him like with anything with Bible, when it was like, what's in your bag? And Bible's putting on stuff and he's just like, and it's things that we already know about
Knife.
Bible, right?
When he pulled out that knife, Jess's face was like, what? And he's like, yeah, this is my everyday. And he's like, when was the last time you used it? He's like, this morning. And he's like,
But he seems real happy and jazzed to be there. He's just like, this is what I'm doing now. It's a good time. What was I gonna say? Like we have had a lot of high quality stuff come out. I will say though, like people were like, yes, this is the turning point. Everything needs to be like this. And I'm like, no, I still want my other shows. Please leave them alone. Like, please stop. Like
Yeah.
I love that we're
I
getting
want.
huh? What?
Yeah, because I want the bad guy, my boss.
Yeah.
I want my
Exactly.
drama. Yeah.
Yeah, I need both. I need it all. And so please stop being like, oh, we can be done with this. No, we can't be done. We can't be done. I want it all. I am greedy with my shows. I need my cheesy romance. I need the little shows that they're
Yeah.
still on a budget and they're doing their best. I'm not a snob about that. Like, do you? It's still fun to watch. Like, yeah, I need it all.
I want my horribly dramatic show where you were like, why are all of you making these horrible decisions as you sit there eating the popcorn, yelling at the TV? I need it. Okay. I don't want everyone to make the best decisions all the time or all that kind of stuff. No, every so often I want to be yelling and being like, why'd you film from this angle? It's awkward. And then, we keep going.
I wonder if that's why I watch shows from the BLs from all of the different countries because
Yeah.
they all, like, even if it's the same topic, they address it differently.
Yeah.
And so,
True.
like, I think that's part of the reason why I like it. But also, please don't get rid of my shows. Like, I don't care if you have moved on with your life and you no longer need these shows. I still want them. Please
Yeah.
let me just have them.
And there's a lot of people they bring joy. Like, I don't understand why I love Jack and Joker. Like, I think that is so freaking well done. And I'm so impressed with everything about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And but that to me doesn't signify, okay, now this is where BL should be. No, that's like another elevated, version of BL. Awesome. But I don't, also, it would not be sustainable if everyone was trying to do that. It just wouldn't. They're not
even
there
close.
with productions and everything to be able to all create shows at that level. It's just not going to happen. But I'm glad we get shows like that now too.
Yeah.
I really am loving Jack and Joker. Okay.
So
I have to watch the latest episode tonight.
me
I'm
too.
so excited. But the one before this, it was breaking my heart. It was just hurting my heart so much. And I was like, how are they doing this to me? It's like, what? That was like the 3rd episode. And I was already like in so much pain for all these people.
I love the concept, and I think they took some concepts that are popular or have been done before, but kind of meshed them in a way that made it its own thing, which I really like because it's
Mhm.
I love the idea that he doesn't change, right? That he's still who he is at his core. Like I thought he was just going to turn into a big bad, so that little twist made it more interesting because
Yeah.
it's easy to make him like, turn into a baddie, but to be a baddie who's really just still that same person to the core, which is why Joker is like still, or Joke is still crazy about him because he's still the person he
Yes.
always was.
And then when we and then in episode 3, when you realize that Jack doesn't realize who Joke is, he thinks he's someone who like takes advantage of people and does all this, and you're like, no, there's a miscommunication here, like and that really got to me too. Although I will say, this is a spoiler for the end of episode 3. Joke was looking at that ring like he was proposed to. He was like,
Oh,
he
Joke
was
is
holding that
so
ring and was
down
like,
bad.
he gave me the
Yeah.
ring. Like, you stole this. He was trying to get you out there. And that man looked like he just, got engaged. He's about,
He just got proposed
I
to.
don't think I understood how in love, we could just say it, how in
Yeah.
love Joke was. I mean,
Yeah.
I should have, when he was like, I wrote you this book of 100 ways to say I'm sorry. I should have known then, like,
Yeah.
that's what you did with jail
Yeah.
time. You just focused on me. But for 5 years, you were
5
writing this
years.
book about
Also,
me.
I would like
What?
to remind everybody that this man met him twice before he turned himself into jail for something that he could have gotten away with.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
He turned
has.
himself into jail after meeting this kid 2 times.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, we're way past down bad. We were down bad way long ago.
Look at that ring.
How do I make up with him? One.
I would
Say
like to
I'm
address
sorry.
something though. I saw somebody mention.
100. 100. He wrote a whole book. A book. Oh boy.
Oh my God, when he like goes, listen, Joke is this whole thing, but I swear when they were like fighting over that ring and then like they touched hands, I was like, just make out already. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then, the jail thing. He learned how to fight so he could keep up with this man. I'm like, every decision you made was so that you could be on the same level as this guy.
Yep.
Yep.
That's his boo. He just doesn't know it yet.
Dedication to somebody is fascinating.
I'm like,
I would like to say though, I saw somebody. I've actually seen it a couple times where people are like, I don't understand why Jack is still so mad. He turned himself in. He didn't have to go to jail. I was like, because it wasn't that he lost hope that he didn't have the instructor thing again. It was that his punishment was not the going to jail. It was the fact that he had to go into a life of servitude that he did not want to be in,
Right.
and use something that he loved against people.
Yes.
So like,
and
him losing that money had nothing to do with being upset that he no longer had the money. It had everything to do with he literally had to give his life away instead.
and
I
it
need
was
people to understand that. That is why he is mad.
it was because he, it's one of those things where we think Joke is down bad, Jack was also enamored with this guy and then
Yeah.
thinks that he was just played this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is that meet cute at the bar? When they
Oh
just,
my God.
we just
And
sat
the fact that
down.
the
That man was,
tattoo now
huh?
matches what he did instead of the no.
He
Listen
sat
to
down at the
me.
bar. He was supposed to be working, and then their little when they were talking, and the girl.
Oh my God, that was still so funny. They're just in the background, not a care in the world.
Their chemistry is so stupid. Oh, my dumb sister. I'm sorry. She keeps coming up. She was like, well, she said she needed to watch Yin War before watching this. Because I was like, you need to watch it. And so she's like, yeah, I went. And she's like, I don't know how I feel about that other series. And I was like, what? And she's like, the one you, and she's talking about,
Love mechanics.
yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, it was on Vicky. It's like, what, 4 episodes? I was like, no,
End of love?
no.
She went the end of love?
Vicky. I was like, she's like, did I watch the wrong thing? Yes, you did.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes, you did.
God. Yes, you did. Don't watch that. Ah,
And even still, they did stuff others couldn't do.
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not like, that's not
It's
a
not the
likable
same.
situation. So I was like, please go correct this and
Go.
watch proper love mechanic. Thank you very much.
Their
Also
chemistry and
watch
love mechanics.
The partners in crime.
No, I will send
I-
her that. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
send her
you
that.
need to send her that.
I
'cause
maintain best BL of that year was that
it
little clip.
altered my brain chemistry.
Yeah.
I was like, what is
I-
happening?
I will tell you, episode 2 of Jack Joker, I watched in Malta in the main room. So there was like 14 of us on this trip. So there were people walking in and out, don't know what a BL is, don't know what I'm watching, and it was me and my sister watching it. And then the twins watched it, and one of the twins was not wanting to watch BL. The other twin is watching Kim Porsche with us. Both twins watched it. The other twin, that is how we hooked them in. So now they are on board for My School President. That's our next watch. But I had 3 people sitting down. I had so many people asking me questions. People were like, oh, this is the stuff you like. These are the shows. And I'm like, yes.
Oh, great show to
All
get them
day.
in with.
Listen,
You're
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 like,
gonna get a
yes,
whole
and they're
group of
all
there.
like this.
All of them, just like this one. See, I have really good take, but they were like so invested, and it was episode 2, and they were so into it, and they really liked it. I'm like, good job, Yin War. You just got
Yeah.
a bunch of like randos into BL. I don't know if
Yeah.
I would go that
I will
far,
say
but they
though
like
that lately the shows, it takes me a couple, and it's probably because I'm just watching so many, but it takes a couple before I'm like hooked into a show. Jack and Joker, within the first 10 minutes, I was
Oh.
like, I'm sold. I was gonna be sold anyway because like Yin War, my babies, but like, but I was like, the storyline had me hooked from the beginning. Like, and that is a testament to both the people who wrote it as well as the actors, and in general, just all of it together. It was like really good.
I am still every episode amazed at like all the elements of the show that are coming together and doing so well. And like in the 3rd episode, all these actors, everyone they have in it is so good, and they're good at the character they're playing. Like all these characters feel so unique and not like a throwaway. Like you're gonna remember these people. And then what was and the costumes and everything, or the fact that they also were like poking fun. They're making their own jokes about War being blonde and in the thing, and they're like, okay, get together. Like I loved also that there's that serious element they have with themselves that they will put into it. It's so good.
it has their sense of humor.
Yeah.
Their real life sense of humor. It's like because they're unique as a pair.
I agree.
Was it them? Was it them? Who was it? I might be getting it wrong. Where I was watching a pair talk about how the fans were telling them to talk to each other. Was it them?
It was them. It was them.
That was such an interesting interview where in their first interactions, the fans were begging them to interact. And they were like, it was just such a refreshing thing. They were like, what do you mean? We're actors. We're in a show. We don't need to do this. Why do you need us to interact? We're doing our job. We're actors. And
so like we only talk when we want to talk about something.
Right. But then they talked about how they then built a relationship, but it was honest and real because it wasn't for us. It wasn't to serve fandom, which is what I think people struggle with the difference of, because people will look at them now and be like, fan service. And they'll be like, no, we got close on our own by our own choice.
Yes. And I like their team as well because, like with some of these ships and stuff, you'll get like someone will be videoing them as they walk out of a bathroom together or something. And Yin and War's team would video them in the moment, and Yin and War would look and be like, Oh God. And everyone would make the cheesy music and they knew what was happening. They're like, yeah, this is a moment. And that was like, I was like, oh, this makes these moments actually funny instead of like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Creepy instead of or
Yeah, creepy.
invasive or trying to like set us up for something that's not
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
When it's
Or
a
imply
new
anything different.
when it's a new pairing, I'm like, okay, I know you guys are figuring each other out. You're trying to,
Mhm.
get into your element, all this stuff. But when these pairs have been together for like a year or two, I'm like, oh my gosh, everything is going off on my phone. When they've been together for like a year or two or stuff, I'm like, now we're just seeing them. Like now they know each other. Now this is
Mhm.
how these people interact with each other and do things. That's why it always blows my mind when people talk about some of the ships, some of these pairings who've like been in each other's lives for like 10 years. And they're like, this is all for the camera. I'm like, they've known each other for 10 years. You don't have to do fan service at that point. You just know this person. Even if you were only coworkers for 10 years, even if that's as deep as your relationship, you know them well.
I
Yeah.
started to wonder if people approach co-working and things like that a little differently. And then I'm like back away from it and just say think of like theater or music or arts when you're working together because there's so many people who are like they're just working together. And I'm like when you're working day in and day out with someone and that is like you see them more than your family and your friends. I remember in Puin's interview, he was talking about how he used to have a side account and he would just fill it with as much normal stuff as possible. So he could
Yeah.
look at his side Instagram and just be like, that's me. That is like just regular. I'm a regular, like to remind himself I am a regular person. And he's like, it was just like really lame. It wasn't photogenic. It was like cars and stuff like that. It was just boring and lame. But it was real. And it was like to keep him connected to something real. Like,
Mhm.
because all of his time was spent in this world. Like you can't spend day in and day out with all of these people and not become connected to them. It's not you're going to get close. You're going to build a
Yeah.
relationship.
It's like even in jobs that I have disliked, I have made a friend or two that
Right.
I don't even if I don't go out and spend time with them outside, we still have a rapport when we're standing next to each other at a meeting, being
Yeah.
like, why the hell am I here? It is no different for them. The only difference is they are probably even closer because they have to do more workshops and they have to be a part of more things that are
Right.
behind the scenes that other people don't get to see.
Yeah.
It's a weird I think what people in order to process it because this is a weird thing. Like I don't want to act like any of this is normal, but I
Yeah.
think for people to like process the reality of what we're witnessing, sometimes they have to put other stuff on top of it. And
Mhm.
so there's like they're just making everything up and this idea that they're like, they're laughing at you and like that like undercurrent. I see that and I'm like, are
Like
they or is that what you want to be happening?
Right.
You need it to be that way.
I'm always like, why do you feel like they're laughing at you? I'm like, why do you think they're getting joy? That one
They're
confuses me for them.
tricking you and laughing at
Yeah.
you.
I'm like, okay. Or like the one where people are like, for some of the, not everyone, for some of these pairings, they do a lot. Okay. They will make you side eye. For some of them, when you say Delulu, I'm like, I don't think Delulu is the word we should use here because they're making out with a man. So, like, for like some of this, people will be like, oh, yeah, how are you going to feel when it turns out? I'm like, what do you mean when it turns out? They made out with a man. I don't care if they come out later and they were like, got you. I'm like, you still did that. So, like, sometimes when like fans like come in with all this, I'm like, you're seeing stuff happen. I don't care if these people were to come out later and be like, haha, it was all fake. I'm like, okay,
Did you
fake.
guys
You did those things.
did you
Like,
guys see those like go off his
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
He went in and what I loved about him going in because there's been this debate about jealousy or whatever and all this other stuff. what I loved is he did it, he leaned into it. It was such a fascinating read where he was like, "Yeah, I'm jealous. That's not fake. We both get jealous. Like, get it in your head. Sometimes I don't want him looking at this person or that, but I get jealous." And he just like how much did like it felt so I felt the exasperation in it too.
Yeah.
Like how long is it gonna take you to get it? Like I don't know what to say or do, but enough. Like this is happening.
It's
This is
always
happening.
people act like they're just supposed to be a blank slate. They're just always supposed to look happy. And if you see any other emotion, it's acting. I'm like, people just have emotions. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
they're just a thing that happens. And genuinely I wonder about some of these people. I'm like, even if they were not in a relationship, I'm like, you've never been jealous of a friend or a coworker hanging out with
That
someone?
part.
Yeah.
Bless you.
I'm
Yes.
like, my God.
I might not be the level of Shannon when I get jealous of my friends hanging out with people, but like I still have I still have those moments where I'm like, I I'm gonna need you to not
Yeah.
anymore. I need you to come back over here because this is too much for me.
They just can't be like actor robots like going in and out
Yeah.
of these scenarios. They're
Well, I also, when people say it about Dawu and Off Road, I'm like, why that pair? If there was any pair that I was going to be like,
Another. Pick
you
another.
liars, it
I was
would
like,
not be them.
like
just
don't
gonna
mess
pick
with
another.
it. They're being they're being as clear as they can be without being fully and even then they're still no they're fully clear.
Well, I
They're
mean, they're
fully
fully
clear.
clear, and then they're
Remember,
explaining why they can't be more clear on multiple occasions.
He-
I like way a few years back or so when I was first making videos, I used to tell people because they would be like, you can't say that this pair is a couple because you're, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to say this. I was like, but why do I need to say that those two are like boyfriends? Why do you need me to say it when you're
Mhm.
seeing everything they're doing and it's very clear that this is, I would always say it's like an intimate and like personal like relationship that they have. I was like, why does it matter so much that you hear this specific
Word.
label come out of someone's mouth? I'm like, we all have fucking eyes. I don't understand. Like, my God.
He gets the most mad when someone says fan service. That should
Yep.
tell you something. That is when he goes off the most.
Yeah.
When anyone implies that their relationship is in some way for show, he goes off. Like he goes off on that and he goes off when people are being homophobic. I don't know what dots you need to connect in your mind to make that make sense.
It's
I
not
saw,
a
I
complicated
just
puzzle
don't
piece.
think it's that hard.
I saw one behind the scenes clip of him giving little like smooches to Off Road as like, I don't know, as like, oh yeah, we
I
got
was
through
gonna
a
say,
scene
and my
moment.
brain immediately went to which one because there's
There's
so
so
many of them.
many.
And then people are like, oh, it's all for the camera. I'm like, listen, people generally don't just kiss like this. Like as like a yay, we had a great scene together. Mwah. That's not something that people generally do. I don't know.
And I don't know where anyone sits with Billy Bay, but I just thought this was interesting in their last because I've been watching their thing, and they also are very bothered by the reality show people saying it's fake or they're doing fake. They
Mhm.
get very very bothered by it when they started editing stuff out. They pushed back, and now we get like 30-minute, 40-minute episodes. They did a Q&A the other day, and in their episode this week they were talking about what what's real and what isn't when we do these things, and they had a really I appreciate it. It was a very frank conversation because they're like, of course this isn't going to be what it would really be if we went out on our own. They said there's a camera involved, we're making content. It doesn't matter if we're going to the lake or something, we're still making content. I'm going to get up earlier than I would have. I'm going to put on makeup, and maybe I wouldn't have done that day. And he said they get worried, like, we don't want to be boring because you're going to be sitting here watching this. So maybe we may be a little more, amped up, or we may
Animated.
do things a little differently or talk about something more.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we're still ourselves.
Yeah.
we're ourselves and we're doing something that we want to do together, but there's never a point when you're in front of a camera that you're not on. You're on, you're on, you're
Yeah.
in front of a camera, so you're on. It was really frank. I appreciated them like leveling that and being like, come on, we
Yeah.
want, like some of this is production because we're producing a show.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean we are not ourselves when we're doing it.
Yeah, it's like that whole thing, like just because, this is like moving their career forward or this is content doesn't mean it's not real. Like doesn't mean this isn't
Yeah.
authentic. Yeah, I don't know how they're able to do it so well because I know having a camera around all the time, it's gotta be that. And it would always be in the back of my mind. I'd be like,
But I think it depends on the type of actor you are. I think there are some people who love the attention. You know what I
I know
mean?
it's
Like
there. Yeah.
they live for a
Yeah.
camera. They're always like Lego is always performing. I remember the GMM event where who was it? It was Gunn was like, he just no, it was Mix. Mix was like, every time I turned around, he was just dancing on that stage. And I was tired. And he would like go do something else and he looked back up a little Lego the whole night. Just did he is
Yeah.
main character, right?
The
Like
first time we
that's
got to see Lego the first time I think I saw Lego at an event outside of like when he got out of the show that
Mhm.
they ran, the Alpha Project show.
Mhm.
It was at the GMM show, not showcase. Yeah, the party thing
Was it
where
the
they did
showcase?
all where they all were dressing up and they were all in teams or whatever.
The
like the
outing?
green team and blue team.
The outing?
The outing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So that one. But it was when everybody was cleaning up at the end. So like it was like the actual thing had ended, but everybody was doing the cleanup after the end. But somebody had put on music and he's just dancing in all of the confetti that's in the middle of the thing. And everybody's
Aw,
like, who is that? And I was
that
like,
made
I'm
me
pretty
happy.
sure that's Lego. But I was like, he's always, always doing something. And it's almost always being recorded somehow. So
When I watch their vlog, I feel like specifically Babe is someone who's very comfortable. Like he would have been an influencer if he wasn't an actor. Like he understands.
yeah.
But that doesn't people look at that like a negative and I don't understand it. I'm like, I sit in front of a camera, y'all sit in front of camera. Like we're sitting in front of a camera right now. Like, what do you mean? Like
Yeah, and then people will say things like, "Oh, you're just so authentic." I'm like, I don't know how to not. I'm just speaking. That's what, and so I
Like, I'm
guess that's what
probably
I
more
assume
animated
everyone
now.
else is.
yeah.
Huh?
But it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I'm more animated now than if
Yeah.
if I would just be sitting here on the phone maybe. But at the same time, I'm still being my 100% authentic self. It's just this is my people face, not my I'm just
Well,
chilling at home face.
I wonder if I'm more animated on the.
I think you are
No.
you, Shannon, at all times. I really do. I don't think
I
there's
think you're just you.
I think
I think the only time I see you act different is if you're trying to specifically say something. But if you're just doing your while and out videos,
you're different when you're trying to not be you. When you
yes.
think you is too much and you're trying to be like civilized in your mind and like very studious.
What you consider demure?
It is the most difficult thing to watch. Could you just it's so hard? And I'm just like, be free, please. You're not helping anyone. No, don't do that.
The first time we met,
It always looks like you have a gun to your head or something trying to make you say
Yes,
something. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to just shut it off for a minute and then redo this.
I get worried meeting people in person. I get worried that like I will be a lot for someone to like just run like boom. Now here we are, all the time. I do get worried about that. I've been doing the what's it called the meetup with some people here. We all watch BL, so we meet up. I haven't been able to have alcohol, right, because of the medications. And so one of the nights out, I ordered a Shirley Temple. And I was having such a fucking great time. And I was like, I love this fucking Shirley Temple. At one point, they were like, is there alcohol in this? And I was like, no, I'm just loving life right now.
I think we've been on enough lives and phone calls that I just expect you to be the way you are every time I meet you. But there's other people that I'm like, I didn't realize you were this animated until I was like in person.
I would say Kelly is you're just the same in person, Kelly, I would say.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty consistent.
Hmm.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know where Heatherly is, but keep making that cheesecake. I'm just going to show up on your doorstep. I'll just be there. Okay.
I was gonna say something. Oh, my brain. What's wrong with my brain? Oh,
I don't
it's
know.
gone. Never mind. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. I got distracted. Saw an email. They should have shut down my email.
Should I have to go make the boys dinner? Should we let this be our
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys, look at us.
we did it.
We're doing such a great job. I only mixed up 3 different actors, but we're all good.
I mean, honestly, that's on the low end for you sometimes.
It really was. In my defense, 2 of them had the same name. So
Yes, I will give you that. I
They
will
look
give you that.
absolutely different in every single way.
oh,
But they
100%.
do
Yeah,
have
the
the
same.
same name.
They do have the same name.
Even a little bit alike, but they have the same name. They have the same name.
They have the same name. So I was like, oh, obviously, it's this guy. It was not that guy.
No, it's not that
No.
guy.
Now I got to go figure out what he's doing.
He's hanging out with his boyfriend. No, they
Yeah.
have a show. They have a show or
Oh,
something.
freaking cute. I can't
They're so
stand those 2. And I swear to God, if anyone shows up and it's like, they're not actually dating. Oh, they are. And
Oh,
they're
no,
company
they're
said
100%
so.
dating.
They
Yeah.
have zero reason not to be.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
watched him bite his boyfriend's bicep on the train.
Yep, that was
Great.
fun. That was a good time.
It was great. I was like,
They're so damn cute. All the
I love
hospital
you too.
videos. Like the hospital videos. I was like, how'd you make being in a hospital adorable?
they
I'm like
really
worried, but
did. They got to the hotel and it was 2 beds and they were like, fix that.
at this point, I'm like, yeah, just give me the show. I'll support it even if it's horrible because these 2 are awesome.
We're
Yeah.
good. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women. All right.
Rap actually, yeah.
Oh, don't we have like an outro? Don't you say things?
What? We
Thank
do?
you, everyone, for coming.
Oh, all right.
All on our social medias. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube and Patreon for some of us.
Oh, and
And-
I'm on Twitter. Oh, never mind. Forget that. Keep going.
Shannon's on Twitter. So is Kelly, actually.
Yeah.
But so am I. We're all on Twitter. What are we talking
We're
about?
everywhere.
Anyway, we're on all the social medias. Please like, comment, share, and if you have anything else that you would like us to talk about or any shows that you highly recommend to some of us that are not watching as many shows, let us know in the comments. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Oh, that was really great. Yeah. Yeah.
The outro.
Way to go, Heatherly.
Bye.
Bye.